Hello, good morning. This is Group 30, and my name is Kuldeep Choksi, and along with Aryan Ahir and Sahana Rajshekhar, we would like to present our app called Travel Genie. Travel Genie, this app is about our personal trip planning companion. We can discover, plan, navigate like multiple hotels, restaurants, attractions, and even places and flights, etc. Um, Using this application. Let's like the UI that you see over here is what the app is about. Now, our initial plans was to have this entire complete perfect standalone application. And the only issues that we did face during the building of all these functionalities was when we were not able to implement the Firebase functionality because for some reason it was showing this error on Xcode that we could not understand what the error was and had this non-zero exit error. Other than that, about our future goal of development, like features, etc. Of course, we would like to try to implement the Firebase as an unfinished functionality. But other than that, we were expecting an addition of camera to scan real-time attractions, locations, and also perhaps build like a feedback system with which our users can tell us exactly what their issues were, and like make the entire thing ready.
Okay, so I'm Aryan, and let's move on to the full demonstration of our application. So let me reshare my screen so that we can see the application. And okay, so here's the application. It's called Let's Go, your AI-powered travel companion. So how it works is basically it allows us to plan your trip. You can discover attractions. Based on that, it gets you a personalized feedback on the hotels that are close to those attractions. And then it also gives you a lot of options on dining. You can save your itinerary and view it later on as you go. So let's get started. So this is our landing screen where you can input our destination. So let's say it's Mumbai and the origin is say Delhi. And you can also provide dates over here, although it's an optional field. And also we have also added input checks to this. So number of people can never go below zero, below one. And let's add it to like three people. Then our number of days and nights as well can never go below one. So let's make it 2 days and one night. There's also a travel type. So based on what type of travel you select, like whether it's with friends, family, or solo, the attractions are given accordingly. And you can also adjust the budget. So for now, let's click luxury. Now, when we click get attractions, it shows a loading screen, which then does an API call behind the scenes, and it uses Node over here, which is integrating with Gemini 2.5 flashlight, and it will pull up all the attractions that are towards Mumbai. So, as you can see, there's Gateway of Mumbai, Chhatrapati Shivaji, and Marine Drive, and so on. Now, these locations are sorted by the locations that you must see, along with locations that you can see if you have time. So, these are labeled by optional. So, let's try adding some of them. So, let's add Gateway of India. So, once you add to the planner, you can also view the planner as you're making it. So, it will show as a pop-up window, which is one attractions Gateway of India, and we can add one more, let's say this one, and let's add one optional as well. Next, it's going to calculate hotels based on the distances from all these attractions. So it will give you a hotel which is really close to that attraction, those attractions. And since we had clicked Marine Drive and so on, so these locations are going to be close to that. And again, if you remember, we clicked all the luxury hotels. So this is pulling all the feedback from Google Maps API for the hotels. And it's also giving us the charges of what the cost would be in the local currency. So let's add the Taj Mahal Palace to the itinerary. And as you can see, again, it has added that and all our previous attractions. And then we can select restaurants, which will again be sorted by the must try restaurants with optional restaurants all over Mumbai. And here it will again try to filter the location based on where your attractions are. Since all our locations are more of south side, so you're gonna get those options. So let's add maybe one or two to the planner, and then you can save the itinerary with whatever name you want. So let's say app test Mumbai, and then you can save the itinerary, and it's gonna say success message along with how many attractions, hotels you've added, and the restaurants. So you can then go and view those trips, And when you're viewing those trips, it will sort it in a nice format which is readable and easy to see. So you can see the location as well as the duration of the attraction, like how long it is open, and it will also sort it with the must see along with optional. Then it will show you the hotels and give you a list of all the pros and cons of that hotel, so you're always aware of any scams and the good parts of the hotel. And based on that, again, it will give you the restaurants, so it's going to tell you why you should be visiting this restaurant as well and why you should not. So this creates your perfect itinerary. Now, say you don't want an itinerary. This is a previous itinerary that I created beforehand for the test purposes. And say you don't like this itinerary, so you can actually edit and delete this itinerary as well. And then you can also search nearby. And since right now the location has been denied, it didn't ask the pop-up. So sometimes it glitches out, but basically once it gets you a pop-up, you can select the location and then it pulls you to that location and shows you all the restaurants that are nearby. You can also select and view hotels that are near to you. And this is the Apple Maps that we have integrated, so it takes in the location access from your phone directly. So this was all about Let's Go, and now I'll just pass it on to Sahana.
Okay, hi, I'm Sana, and I'll be talking about the other things like what things have you learned from building the app. So we try to integrate Firebase and we try to integrate Google Maps, sorry, Apple Maps, and we learned how to uh, make the app user friendly and add new UI features that is more intuitional to users. And we thought from users' perspective and designed the entire app. And the any specific difficulty that you had? So the only difficulty we faced was when we were integrating Firebase, we kept facing an error where it throwed zero non-exit error, and because of that, we couldn't proceed with Firebase integration. And overall reflection on your app, on your experience. So we had good experience in making it more user friendly, thinking from user perspective, and building new UI features, and also integrating Apple Maps and using AI for real time data. So these are the things that we learned.
Also, I'd like to add on some points that we faced a lot of issues with using Xcode
Yeah.
setup particularly. So a lot of issues that we faced, the Firebase functionality, we had actually developed the code on our end completely. It's just that the Google files didn't integrate well with Xcode, and we had to make a lot of settings changes to make it viable. Is why we decided to actually scrap out that feature and make it a future functionality. But most of the issues that we faced were with the IDE of Xcode directly and not
Yes.
the application or the coding part. So that's all from our group. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.